have finally come together so that we can give you all some behind the scenes footage. And then they can tell you how much fun they had, how much work they had to prep for everything. So let's get started with the question, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
For you.
Oh, man.
This is April Washington. She played the character Meg Kilsby. Can you tell us a little bit about your character?
Yeah, I can. Well, Meg had actually had a very tough childhood. Her father and her mother had both passed away, and she was left to live with her grandmother. And then after that, her grandmother passed away suddenly, and she started living with her uncle, which was a super deadbeat. And Meg probably went through a stage of depression, and then she met a really good friend in high school, and she got to know him really well, and she ended up having really big, huge emotions for this guy, and but she had to leave him. She had to bounce, right? She had to bounce. She had to take care of the United States of America, so she got to go. But I think overall, Meg's character was really just about experiencing love for the first time and how it completely changed her life and her view on things. So she was an amazing character to play, and we have a lot in common.
Now, I do have a question since you said that. Meg gets killed off in the movie. You didn't mention that. How did that make you feel when that happened?
Well, I didn't want to die. But I think along with the actual storyline, it made complete sense. I mean, she risked her life for someone that she loved, and if I was in that situation, I probably would have did the same thing.
Okay. Now, since we have your counterpart behind you,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit, tell the audience who you are and the character that you portrayed.
I portrayed L, aka Mr. Leonardo Jackson Jr. Very interesting role, very smooth dude. What else? He was just a pretty great guy, laid back, kind of faced some issues with love and death, but he loved his family. Only child, so extremely spoiled, and you know, in that case, that lonely syndrome. Very driven, very driven, and knows how to execute things accordingly. And then in the movie, you'll see he's very good in business, and it's a very important part of the role, and how he executes and maneuvers through his personal life as well as the business, which is his family's business. So the role was very good, and playing L was very interesting because it was very relatable to myself. So it wasn't too difficult, but I think he was a little bit smoother than I was. So yeah.
That's what he said. Okay.
Bang bang.
All right. So can you tell us a little bit about your character, Malcolm?
Yeah, I played the Malcolm app. The character, Malcolm Small. Malcolm, he's a cool dude, man. Smooth, real debonair. He chases women, or they chase him, but
Or he chased him.
yeah, he chases a few of them. He gets a few of them too. He's a fun character to play. I mean, he's a little. Me and him had similar things, but we had things in common. But I mean, he's a cool guy. I mean, I'm not very cool. Sometimes, most of the time. But yeah.
You want to be cool like Malcolm?
I want to be like Malcolm.
Oh wow!
I think I took some stuff from the script and tried to incorporate it into my.
So you really like that character?
Yeah.
That you played? Wow, feels good. All right. So what about you, Damien? Can you tell us who you played?
I played the character Chris. Chris is an attractive guy who comes from a broken home. Being at the age he was, he never understood the adversity he went through with his mother, but was later on adopted by some wealthy parents who spoiled Chris. But Chris, even though in his heart knew that those weren't his biological parents, so I feel like he walked around with a chip on his shoulder. But he got along well with women.
Of course he did. Boy next door.
Yeah. So that's Chris. And that's it, I guess.
Alright, so, Shauna, you tell everybody who you played.
I played Miss Ava Stevens.
Yeah.
Ava was dynamite, okay? She was really attractive and business-oriented, goal-oriented. She knew what she wanted and she knew how to get it. And there was nothing that was going to stop her from getting what she wanted. She can be a tad manipulative.
Just a tad?
You'll just have to watch
You'll
to
have to
see.
see, right? Just a tad.
Just a tad. And I think she learned at an early age that she can use her sexuality to get what she wants. And so she puts that in the forefront of everything that she does. And it was, yeah, she was a cool chick.
All right. So the next question that I'm going to ask is, because of what you just said, how difficult was it for you to play her role?
It was horribly difficult. Like, oh my gosh.
Really?
Well, after you helped me, it got easier. But I guess being sexy, like how, you know, that's not something I lead with. I lead with humor. That's my thing. It's like, hey, ha ha ha, like me. And she's like, hey, boobies, like me. That was her thing. So it was challenging to kind of switch, and it was more serious, and just she was just, like I said, just so driven, and I have a little ADD, so I get lost sometimes. But Ava would never. She knew what she wanted, and she was getting it.
She was getting it.
Yeah.
All right. So the question that I have for you, Malcolm, is what did you have to do to get ready for this role?
I started working out a little bit more than what I normally would.
What's left to work out? You're done. Just wanted to work out a little bit more.
Oh my gosh.
And like to prep for the role though, I watched a few movies and studied like people that had like smoothness, and I watched this guy out here be normal. My character is normal every day, like we walk around cool. So I try to watch him a little bit, take some of his mannerisms, and just incorporate different things into the character. And it was pretty, man. It was interesting. It's a good dynamic to him.
Yeah, we gave the ladies something to look forward to in this movie because she took off her shirt a lot.
That was a couple times.
Yeah, we did that for you ladies.
He worked out.
He worked out with that bow. Because he was already ready.
I just took off my shoes. That's it. Like feet, then.
Oh. All right, so for L. Jackson Jr., this movie was really about you, your character. What did you have to do to get yourself ready? Needless to say, one thing I was for you yesterday, he said, I am in almost every scene in this movie. And that was so true, but he gave his A game.
That's right.
Crying and everything. He said, do I have to cry all the time?
That was the interesting.
Right. He said, I'm not emotional. I don't show emotions. You did a dynamic job.
Thank you. I think preparing for the scene really, I think it was the emotional part because it was, a lot of it was, I'm not an emotional person. I'm a realist, you know, and this has been all over again. It was just kind of stuck in an emotional place. You know, again, I think being the only kid, you know, and his mother, the love, the death, I mean, emotions was like always intensified on everything. And so for me, it's like, how can I cry? I had to stop and think about what's going to make me cry, you know. Like, did someone mess up my clothes or something? Like, you know, and I really had to put myself in a place to say, you know, what's, you know, traumatic to me. And I think one of the scenes I was really, really able to tap into that was like really hard. I was crying for real. I felt like.
I can't wait to see what you
Yes, I'm not going to tell you. But it was good. I think what prepared me for it was really, you know, outside of the shooting, was like, how can I get into an emotional place to It was interesting.
Okay.
So I became more emotional just in life overall.
Oh.
I felt like a sucker
We did that
sometimes.
too.
So, yes.
I'm sorry.
I became more sensitive.
All right, so now the question for Damien. How different are you than your character you played? You're not
Really not much
the
difference.
boy next door.
Other than
I'm
I'm not deranged at all.
Oh, wow, okay.
I try not to go to that side of me.
Yeah.
And I
You
keep
went to
that
some serious sides.
side
It was scary.
I thought it was awesome.
He was.
He tapped in. He tapped in.
I loved it.
I got nervous for a second.
I did too, a little bit.
I mean, I guess me and Chris is the same though. I mean, he was raised up somewhat similar to me. I mean, I wasn't raised up on my mother or my father too as well. So we kind of walked that same path growing up, trying to figure out life without proper guidance. So, and really, I don't know.
That's fine.
That's all I have to say about that.
I think that's what made your character strong, though. And in certain moments that was showing the emotion, you were able to tap into.
Yeah.
You know, that made it like for me, like, oh, brother, don't shoot me for real. You know?
I was thinking about that scene too.
I mean, but you, whatever you tapped into, you know, and this being your profession in acting, I mean, I think you did a heck of a job in making that role relatable to your personal life. So, you know, you did a heck of a job.
Oh.
I think he was like the only person that we would really see prepping to get into emotion.
Right.
Like I remember when we were doing the shooting scene, and you know he was me and Jerome would like see him over there. He's like doing push-ups, and I'm like, he is really about to
He's about to go in.
He's hitting the wall. I was like, oh, he's going in. We really got to tap in today. Yeah, I thought he did an awesome job.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I think you all did a great job all together. Would you say that this movie is a roller coaster of emotions? And when people start watching it, that's something that they should get ready to go through?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I even think that, you know, the storyline is probably what some people are going through, maybe not as extreme, but there are plenty of twisted love triangles out there. So hopefully this can offer some advice on what not to do. Or what to do, I mean.
All right, so when we come back, we will have the two ladies and Mr. Smooth L.
Always and forever, I will love you for the rest of my life.